Hey, Chelsea.
So I was kind of wondering what would be good to start off this evening, and I had a really nice green room virtual talk with Dawn for about an hour about being a musician and juggling that with real life. I didn't write this song since our conversation an hour ago, but it just inspired me to play it for you. I have lived my life somewhere between brave and crazy, but I've got no one to save and no one here to save me. Walking the wire is my desire, my mother in me, and I don't know any other way to be. I was born a dreamer, optimistic to a fault, never heeding warnings. Those who had been there and done that and had it all figured out, paying a price even though the advice came to me for free, and I don't know any other way to be. Do 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 do. Does it surprise you, baby? No one has ever loved me for myself. Always tried to change me, rearrange me into someone else. Do 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 do. Do 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 someone else. Do 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 do. Do do when you come along, you treat me like a queen, and you hold me like a lover. I wanna give you everything. There's no doubt in this, baby, you'll bring out the best in me. Love me for who I am and who I wanna be. I wanna make you feel the way you make me feel so free, and I don't know any other way. Do 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 do. Any other way to be. Do 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 do. Any other way to be.
Woo!
Yeah.
Chelsea. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that was great.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Well, we want to get this evening moving along because we have Dawn. We have some really exciting special guests coming up later. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, Carol. And without further ado, it's a pleasure to introduce to you Dawn White.
Yay.
Woo! All right, done.
Hey, thank you, Chelsea. That was awesome. Wow. Chelsea, setting the tone for tonight. Nicely done. Chelsea will be joining us in our after party song swap later on. Let's get this thing started here. Thank you for showing up. Thanks to Carol, an old wife and husband. They had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what he did. He smoked a lot of marijuana. Did some other things too. He told his parents he was gonna drop out of school. The father pounded on the table. The mother hollered and she screamed. They ran him down to the doctor. Doctor, what does this mean? He put them all on Prozac, right then and right there. He said you'll still have your problems, but now you just won't care. He prescribed a little therapy, some supplementary drugs, but he didn't write a script out for a little more love. A little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. But when you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I know a wife and a husband, and they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what she did. She said, Mom, I'm sleeping over Susan's. That was just a big lie, cause what she really was doing was staying out all night. And when her parents found out, they cried boo-hoo-hoo. And then they called the radio talk show. They asked him, what should we do? He said, send her off to boot camp. That was his advice. It was good for his ratings, but it wasn't very nice. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I can see that you're a tough guy. Oh, you won't be pushed around. You're not gonna take it. You are good at putting your foot down. You might get killed by lightning. You might get hit by a truck. But if you are not that lucky, you might just wind up spending years in a rest home without a whole lot to do. But look back on what you did with the time God gave you. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. Big, rough, tough guy, to see a little more love. It might look a little better. See a little more love.
Great, Dawn. Thank you.
Awesome, Don.
And the crowd goes wild. Square number 15 is losing it. Somebody send a doctor to square 15. All right. Here's a new song, relatively new. It's on my most recent album. It's a song I'm practicing because eventually I'm going to be able to take my wife out and spend money on her. Right now, we go out and we order takeout and we sit in the car and eat it. It's better than nothing, but we do it. But this is a song about the days when we won't have to do that anymore and we can go out and be with people and hug them. That's what I'm looking forward to. A hug. I have a hug list now. It's got 900 people on it. It's already stretched out to the year for 3 years from now. But here we go. I've got $300 bills that are all brand new. They are begging me to think of something cool to do. How about I'll take you downtown and spend them all on you? I don't want to stay home tonight. We have worked so hard for so many years, built a home, a life, a family, and 2 careers. Saved our money for the future is here. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be. Every week on Friday night, there's so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Me and Michael, Johnny, Richard, Ruthie, and Joan all had bouts with cancer last year, you know. If cancer was a man, I'd punch him in the throat. I don't want to stay home tonight. Cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be. Every week on Friday night, there is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Well, I know we can't party like we did before. Can't stay out till 4 in the morning no more. But the house is paid off and the kids are all grown. What the hell have we been working for? Let's take a nap. Take our inhalers. Take a multivitamin. Then go out to hear some music with all of our friends who didn't die from the way we used to party back then. I don't want to stay home tonight. And time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be. Every week on Friday night, there is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't stay home again tonight. All right.
Hey, Don. All right.
But of course, I am staying home. That's right, I'm home. All right, let me tell you a story now. So anybody that wants to have their microphone unmuted, that you came in late, raise your hand there. There's the little blue hand that's down on the bottom of the participants window, and we'll know, and we'll keep you unmuted so you can laugh along and applaud and be part of the group. If that's only if it's quiet where you are, though, because we will unmute you as quick as as quick as possible otherwise. But anyway, let me tell you a story. This is my daughter's bedroom. When my daughter lived here, she's older now, but this was her bedroom, and there's never been a real door on her bedroom when she was living here. There was no, I couldn't afford to buy a real door for her, so I bought her what I call an accordion door. And if you don't know what an accordion door is, this is your lucky day. This is your lucky day. I'm going to explain it to you. An accordion door has an aluminum runner running across the top, and it kind of folds like an accordion like that, and little squeaky wheels that run across the aluminum runner. And so that's the kind of door that she's had on her bedroom ever since she was a kid. And when she was a teenager, in her mind, it was this close to child abuse, the fact that her parents removed from her her God-given, constitutionally guaranteed right and privilege to be able to slam her bedroom door after she was done screaming at her parents. So, I'm not sure you're all with me on this, but just follow along. It's going places. All right. So, my daughter is the smartest one in our whole family, and this is the way, and she and her and her mother, when she was 17, used to fight like two animals. I mean, I would know it was them, and I know they'd be speaking English, but to me it sounded like someone had turned the Nature Channel up loud on my television. I'd be in another room, and I would hear these animal noises. Like that, right? And then it would abruptly end like that, right? And then they would each go separately to different ends of the house, leaving me and the dog cowering on the couch in what I like to refer to as the angry estro silence. And then they would each come to me separately to complain about the other one. First, my daughter would come. This is what her lips look like when they're moving. She'd be complaining to me like this, complaining and complaining. And I would focus and try to pay attention because I love her and I want to I want to be a good dad to her, but I couldn't understand what she was saying because I have an attention deficit problem, especially when I don't like what somebody's saying to me. That's right. She would complain to me like this, and her lips were moving. I would focus, and I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I knew that I was the source of her problems. I could tell that. And what she would be trying to communicate to me was that if only 18 years earlier, when I was courting this woman, her mother, that if I could have seen that 18 years later she would be spending every one of her waking moments denying liberty to her daughter, then certainly, from my daughter's point of view, I would have chosen more carefully. And then she would want me to get justice for her. Well, like, let's think about that for a minute. Like, my daughter's a very observant young person, but the fact that she believed that I was capable of getting justice for her from her mother, that betrayed a fundamental misunderstanding about the way that things work inside our home here. So, she would try to want me to get justice for her, but I didn't have the heart to tell her what I'm going to tell you, and that is, if I could get justice from that woman, I would get some for myself. I didn't have the heart to tell her that, so I took my cue from the dog, who always looks at me with kind of an empathetic look when I'm talking, but he can't understand what I'm saying either. And I would just look at her and say, I'm sorry, I see that you have a lot of problems and that I am the source of them. I hope it works out for you. I hope it works out for you. I don't know what to do for you. And what would happen is she would leave, and then her mother would come, and it would sound like when the teachers talk on the Charlie Brown cartoons. It'd be like bwah, bwah, and then a word would find its way in there. Bwah, 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 your daughter. Bwah, bwah. Like that, right? Now, I can see, I'm going to put this on gallery view now so I can see you all, and I see some dads out there. There's a fair amount of dads out there, so I want to speak directly to you dads right now. So, and the next thing that I'm going to say, hello, Mr. Fulton, the dad over there, and then a bunch of them there. So, I can see that there's a lot of dads here. And so, the next thing that I'm going to say is for my dads. Now, my stories are generally, they start with these little seedlings of truth, which I water and grow into gigantic rainforests of exaggeration. Right? But this next thing that I'm going to say is true down to its molecules. It's true right to its nucleus. And all of my dads out here, and I'm watching you all, you're all going to want to laugh really hard at this next thing that I say. But as your friend, I'm going to recommend to you that you do not. Normally, I would say it could be a long ride home for you, but you're already home. You can't even get in the car. It's going to be a long walk down the hallway to the living room for you. That's what I'm saying to you. Now, here's the one absolute truth of this show. If I have my daughter on one side and my wife on the other side, and they're both complaining to me at the same time, which happens quite a lot actually, and if I close my eyes, I swear to God, I can't tell which one is talking! It has occurred to me that the problem these people have with each other has something to do with the fact that they're identical. But that's just a theory. That's just a theory. So this is what it would be. My daughter, my wife, my daughter, 17 years old, not going to be pushed around by my wife or her husband. And she's 17 years old, and there they are like this, nose to nose, going at it. And my daughter's like, I'm 17 years old, and you can't tell me what to do. I'll come home at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock and do whatever I want. And pretty soon I'll be 18. I'll be able to do whatever I want. And then she will go upstairs, whop, 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 and stand next to her little accordion door. And she would scream at us from up there, and her voice would come bellowing down the hallway and wash over her mother and I like an angry teenage tsunami. And this is the sound we would hear at the bottom of the stairs that are right outside this door right here. We would hear, and when I turn 18, I am moving out of this house! Weaky, 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 weaky. Click. All right, there you go.
Oh, the standing magnet.
Thank you. So I do these shows every Thursday, and next week we're going to be working for a place in Belmont, Mass, the second Friday, and then after that, I got a bunch of them coming up. But on the second Thursday this is for my friends who come all the time. Second Thursday in October is going to be the day before my wedding anniversary. I will have been married 43 years if I'm still alive. Then I'm the presumption on my part. But and so I was thinking I would ask my son to play with me. But I haven't performed with him for years and years, and we're all being really careful. So he might be able to get him in here and us play a little bit. So mark that one down. The second Thursday in October, and I'm going to play this song. This is one that we would normally play together. I haven't played it. I don't normally play it without him. This is a song that I wrote when I was just figuring out that I could be a man and not be afraid of everything anymore. So this is called Not Scared Anymore. I'm not sure that I've played this one online yet. Maybe we'll see. I got a job washing dishes when I was 16. It was the scariest time of my life for me. Had a future that used to just torture me with questions like, who are you going to be? Will your life have meaning? Will your mind be strong? Will you be a man people can depend on? Will you always be frightened? Will you ever be brave? Will you still be washing dishes when you're old and gray? Big Trouble used to love to sneak up on me. He'd say boop and I'd jump 5 feet. He would threaten big weather, big wind and big rain. That's all it would take to blow me away. 20 years later my doorbell rings. It's old man Trouble asking for me. My woman is crying and my kids are too, 'cause they know what old man Trouble can do. I should be shaking, I should be scared, but looking at him just makes me mad. Hey mama, come over, come look, come see what 20 long years have done for me. Your frightened little twig turned out to be the oak in the middle of his family. And Big Trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. A Big Trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. When trouble comes here, all trouble can see is my limbs are strong and my roots are deep. I'm planted in the middle of this family. I keep my weeping willows close to me. I say wrap your branches around me now. Just trust me, hold on strong. 'Cause when the big storm comes with the wind and the rain, this oak will not be blown away anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. A Big Trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. Not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. When the big storm comes and the bad winds blow, Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. There we go.
Yay! I haven't heard that forever.
Right.
Wow, we're doing the deep tracks tonight.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a deep track off an album that nobody bought. I got more of those albums in my cellar than I know what to do with. All right, here we go. Now, I'm going to play something that I play every week. So those of you that come every week, maybe it's a good time to make a sandwich or something, all right? But those of you that are new, I want you to come along on this journey with me. I live in Lynn, Massachusetts. And in Lynn, Massachusetts, and in Michigan, and in Colorado, weed is legal. That's right, it's illegal. It used to be quasi-legal here. Used to be quasi-legal. You needed to like have your doctor lie for you, right? Remember that? Like, you know, Don has early stages of glaucoma and some anxiety. He needs some Hawaiian bud to fix his problems, right? But now you just walk up to a store and buy it, and I'm okay with that. I don't smoke it myself. I haven't smoked it for decades, probably 4 decades, but that's how old I am. But I'm glad that it's legal. People don't have to go to jail for it and all that. I don't care, but I don't smoke it myself. Here's my concern. I have 2 concerns, and they are addressed in this number that I'm about to perform here. My first concern is, in this town, Lynn, Massachusetts, you can't go anywhere and not smell weed. Nowhere. It's coming out of churches and liquor stores and, like, you know, kindergartens and police cars, every intersection. It's everywhere. Like, joggers are leaving their houses and, like, running straight to detox. They go, they buy a bag of Doritos and go to detox because they had to run by the kindergarten and the police cars and the churches, and they're just intoxicated by the time they get home, you know? So that's, and I don't even care about that. That doesn't even bother me. But here's my concern. If we were together, if this was a venue, if we were at the new Moon Coffeehouse, I would make time. I'd be staying there till all the chairs were on the tables. And Carol, you know this, just talking to people. I love to talk to people. I talked Chelsea Berry's ear off for an hour before this thing, right? So I listen. I listen and I pay attention, and it's how I grow. I learn things, you know. I love conversation. And so I feel like those of us who really love conversation, focused conversation where the person that you're talking to can remember what you said. You know those kinds of conversations? I believe that in this new world now, that there's going to be a stoner zombie apocalypse, and those of us that love coherent conversation where the people in the conversation can remember what each other said, we're going to have to go underground. We're going to have to go underground. We're going to have like speakeasies, like secret societies. We're going to call them Speak Coherently Easies, and they're going to be underground. You're going to need a secret password to get in it. So here we go. This song is called This Is Nothing. I sat around with a bunch of stoners. I listened to them talk all night long. They were sure that their conversation was deep with meaning. They were wrong, 'cause when you smoke it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. My friend Harry lit up a fatty to celebrate my brand new job. I watched his brain float out of my window. He left me talking to an empty blob. 'Cause when you smoke it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to get into character for this part here. So I'm going to droop my eyes as much as possible here. Wait a second. And I'm going to slow the guitar down to stoner speed. Wait a second. Still too fast. Hang on. Here we go. All right. So we're in somebody's mom's basement. We're all in our 20s. There's a tremendous amount of smoke in the air. Across the room is my best friend. Let's call him Jeremy. That seems like a good name for a best friend in this situation. And there he is. And he's having deep thoughts, profound thoughts. We all are. We're 20 years old. We're thinking deep thoughts. And through the smog and the fog and the blur, I can see that he's about to speak, and he's going to say something that's going to change the whole rest of our lives, he thinks. Here we go. This is what he says. What if our whole life was just a dream, man? What if we're dreaming this right now? I forgot what I was just saying. Let's order pizza. Pizza. Wow. 'Cause when you smoke it, it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. We're doing nothing. Nothing at all. It cures glaucoma. It cures insomnia. Some people say that it is a cancer cure, but it does not cure incoherent conversation. That's for sure.
Yo,
Now listen, like I said earlier, I'm okay with it. Let me check how many of the squares are flaring up. Oh, there's a smoking square 14, smoking square 13. It's all right. You guys, I'm okay with you all of you. Just live your lives. Just please don't talk to me when you're under the influence of that. I'd rather hit myself in the head with a hammer. Okay, here we go now. So, talking to Chelsea earlier, she's grew up in Alaska, which is that, that's a whole novel right there. And so my wife and I hitchhiked for 3 years when I was 17, from 17 to, I don't know, 21 or something like that. Go for a year, come back. So between 1975 and 1979, we were actually on the road for 3 years. In the first year, we hitchhiked to Alaska, the Alcan Highway. Do you believe that? I hitchhiked for 3 years with my girlfriend, then my wife, who I'm still married to. I have 3 grandchildren. Who can say that? I think I'm the only living human being that can speak that sentence and have it be true. But here we are, all these years later. And what it did for us, it did a lot of things. This I don't recommend it to anybody to hitchhike. I mean, I would worry about you. But we just got so hopelessly addicted to freedom on a deep level. Eventually we just had no place to go to, no place to go back to. We just would pick a place on the map and go see what happened there. And we got really used to the idea of things working out. When I look back on it, that's what I think. We had no cell phones, no nothing, right? So we were stuck someplace. Somebody just had to help us, and somebody always helped us. Were the beneficiaries for 3 years of our lives of the kindness of strangers, and we mostly only knew that. We didn't have much trouble out there. Mostly we just saw generosity and kindness. And now that as we built this family and all that stuff, whenever things got tough, we kind of just had that feeling that something would happen, things would work out. Let's just try to be steady, don't panic like that. And it's when I look at her now, I see an 18-year-old girl with long hair standing on the side of the road with the wind blowing in her hair, and freedom in every step that she took and every word that she said, a deep thing of freedom. And it's a peculiar thing to grow older with somebody and to see them the way nobody else can see them. I see a vagabond when I see her. I see a free-spirited person. So I'm going to play this song. It's called Two Vagabonds in Disguise. So you got this, Brandon?
Yep.
Didn't I know you in 74? You were 18 and out of control, hitchhiking far and wide for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road all day long. You would walk, hiking boots, Birkenstocks. You lived on black beans and rice. The wind in your your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of a waitress with 2 kids at her side. Didn't I know you in '74? You were wild, you were out of your mind. Ram Dass and Alan Watts all night in truck stops, your poetry on highway signs. The road was your teacher, then sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of a watchman with 2 kids at his side. When it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep. You watch the kids. Noontime, you're ironing your uniform. Midnight, you return, leave the engine on a kiss. A hug at the door. A long time since '74. I left a note for you, a few things we need to do. It's hanging up on the wall. It says power bill must be paid. Both the kids have been bathed. Your brother from Florida called. And round and around it goes, where it goes no one knows. Put your feet up for a while. There's wine in the fridge, I'm late, give me a kiss. You know, in that slow-moving smile, I still see that vagabond child. Didn't I know you in '74? You were wild, you were out of control. Hitchhiking far and wide for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road. Road was your teacher then, sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of the 2 vagabonds in disguise. When it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep, you watch the kids. Noontime, you're ironing your uniform. Midnight, you return, leave the engine on a kiss. Hug and a sigh, 2 vagabonds in disguise.
Aw,
Beautiful, Don.
beautiful Dawn.
Oh, man.
Aw.
Oh, who were those 2 kids? Oh, man.
Just remember to pay that kindness forward.
That's right. That's a good thing to remember, and I've been doing my best. You know, I'm not always a great example of it, but when you live on the kindness of strangers, it gets in your blood, you know? That picture was taken in 1975 in Amarillo, Texas, and we were I think I was 17 in that picture there. All right, now I'm going to have to go take a nap because I realize how old I am. All right, now, I'm going to sing one more song for you, then we're going to take a break. It's not an intermission. What it is a chance for you to think about maybe donating to the organization that we're raising money for, who does such fantastic work, and the coffee house as well. And also some of the money is going to go to the Dawn White Family Ramen Noodle Fund, which I believe is a very important thing. My wife is a huge fan of this fund right here. So I'm going to sing this song, then we're going to take like a 3-minute break, and I'll come back and play to about, I don't know, 8:20, 8:25. Then we'll have our after party. We'll get Chelsea back and all of that. So, so thank you to everybody. And so before we take this little break, let me do this song for you. And this is for everybody who worked so hard for that peaceful organization. You know, I was talking to the woman who spoke earlier, and there's a place that they're affiliated with loosely. It's near the hotel in Copley Square, and it's a memorial for victims of gun violence, murdered victims, and it's a very I don't know. It's a place when you're there, you never forget it. You just walk around and see the names, and I recommend that you go, just so that it will make it real to you. You know, there's a stillness there that is really something. So maybe in the after party we can have her tell me the name of that thing, Rachel. But anyway, here's a song for you all, and we'll take a little break after this. There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she is waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too, and they are raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents. Now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath, from the moment you're born. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her, and she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true.
Chokes me
Beautiful,
up
Dawn.
every
Beautiful,
time.
Dawn. Stunning.
Beautiful.
Always.
All right, I thought you said this guy was funny. What the hell was that? That was the
That was
worst
beautiful.
comedy.
Every single time that chokes me up.
It was beautiful, Dawn.
You know, I've been singing that song since 1991, and I can't get past it myself. And every time in the middle, I'm like, all right, hold it together now. Nobody wants to see you all weeping in the middle of the song. All right, so here, you guys relax for 3 minutes, and now listen, it's a free concert. You don't have to feel obligated to pay, but if you're doing okay, go ahead and make a donation. You'll be helping out some good causes, you know, me being one of them. But there you go. We'll see you in just a few minutes, all right? There you go.
Okay, I gotta stand up here a little bit.
Test.
Well, we didn't lose too many. That's a good sign. Where are you gonna go? Where are you going? All right. Well, so I saw in the chat that Rachel put the name of that place. It's called. I'll just find it here. What's it called?
The Garden of Peace.
Garden of Peace. I recommend everybody go there for a solemn, serious moment in your life. You'll be glad you did it. It's an important place. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna play this song for my friends here from the North Shore. This is a song about my hometown. Right. I wrote this song in the 70s. Right, that's right. In the 70 something. Right, and I've been playing it ever since. Like, why? Nobody knows why. I just can't kill this stupid thing. Right, it's still here. It's called "I'm from Lynn. What can I say?" So all of you guys from Boston and all that, we're your sister city on the North Shore. This is just for my friends here that are familiar. For those of you that are outside the region, you know, Lynn is the sort of factory place, and Nahant, Marblehead, and Swampscott, those are the places that surround it with the money, you know. I was born in the city of Lynn, home of the first turbine engine, and as if that wasn't enough, it's also the home of marshmallow fluff. You can travel the whole country, you'll never find a bigger fluff factory. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? Peep from Lynn, act this way. Don't talk slick like I'm from the Hant. I'm the son of a 30-year GE man. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn, what can I say? I used to hang around at Barry Park. That's illegal after it gets dark. Stand on the bleachers where things got smoked and beer got chugged, lug bottles got broke. Later in the evening when the police come, 27 juveniles are on the run. Juveniles are running everywhere you see, jumping over fences, climbing in trees. But Don White is too loaded to get away. His name is in the paper on the next day. His mother and his father just can't believe he would publicly humiliate the family. I say, Mom, I'm from Lynn. What can I say? I have to tell you, that whole verse, that last verse was a lot funnier to me before I had teenagers of my own. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn, act this way, don't talk slick, that's what I said. I'm not from Swampscott, Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn, what can I say? On the corner of every street, somebody's cooking something greasy to eat. Deep fat is frying everywhere you look. This town is bound for the record books. A million sub shops open all night long. A socio-intestinal phenomenon. Socio-intestinal phenomenon. I've been writing songs since the 70s. I still think that's the best line I ever wrote.
Yes.
I've been in decline since 1979 in my songwriting prowess. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn eat this way. There's no room in my stomach for French cuisine. Give me a bag of cheese curls and a submarine. Julia Child, get out of my face. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? That's when you know a song's been around too long, when it actually has dead people in it. I left Lynn 10 years ago. I did not know where I was gonna go. 10 of my friends were leaning up against a bar and grill. It's 10 years later, they're leaning there still. Hey, half of my friends who are not on the street are dead in jail or annoying me. And I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn, act this way, don't talk slick, that's what I said. They won't even let me into Marblehead, they're afraid I'll steal something. And I might. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say?
Woo!
Yay, done.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you a story that was requested earlier by somebody. So I'm going to tell the story, sing a song, and then we'll wrap up my end of this. And we'll, if you want to hang around, you can come to the after party, or you can stay here for the after party. Sarah, is the after party worth staying for?
Yes.
It's a firm yes from Sarah, who comes every week, and she knows better. And she wouldn't blow smoke at you. She'd tell you if it wasn't worth it. All right, now.
Have you or tell you the truth.
Sarah is somebody we love a lot. So I'm glad that you're here, Sarah. I'm glad you're okay, girl. Coming from California, right? Okay, so
A lot of smoke out there.
yeah. Well,
We're right next to the bad fire.
yeah. Yeah, they're close to it there, so it's real to her. So we're having good thoughts for Sarah and her husband out there. All right, so this is a story. It's called "I Moved to Maine." So I moved to Maine when I was in my 20s. Why did I move to Maine? Well, because I wanted to become famous. That's why. It's like moving to the moon to become famous. It was the first in a series of really weird business decisions on my part. Prior to moving, as we have discussed, I hitchhiked for 3 years. So when I got to Maine, I was in one of the most economically depressed parts of the country. There was no jobs, no unemployment, and I had no marketable skills. None. I didn't know how to do anything. I was an excellent hitchhiker, but you know, there wasn't a lot of job opportunities for that in the state of Maine. And so the people who lived there, they didn't like us. You know, they call us flatlanders. Have you ever heard that? Flatlanders. You know what it means? It means you ain't from here. You ain't ever going to be from here. And just get used to it. That's what that word flatlander means. And so the guy that lived across the street from us, his name was Wilbur. And he tortured us with that Flatlander stuff. But he was also nice to us. You know, like, I don't really understand it, but I recognize it. It's kind of a Maine thing or a country thing where they'll be kind of mean to you, make sure you know you ain't from here and you're not welcome. But they won't let you die. So he ran like a hose underneath the street through the culvert, so from his well, so we could have running water in the summertime, or you know, when it wasn't frozen. Which in that part of Maine, that was like 3 weeks or something like that year when things weren't frozen. So at first I thought all the neighbors hated us. You know, that's what I thought. But eventually I figured out that they just kind of we became entertainment to them. You know, like they were just like they were like writing down. They had a pool. You know, who's got February 15th as the date that these two hippies freeze to death in that house over there, right? Like, we just gave them something to do, just to watch and see how we were gonna freeze to death, really, basically. And so that's the way it was there. And so the house that I lived in cost $100 a month. It had no running water, no plumbing, nothing. My parents have had reason to be disappointed with me over the years, many of them, many reasons. You know, but the house with no plumbing and a 2-seater outhouse was a new level in their ability to be disappointed in me. like they really couldn't believe that I was living there. My father said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to get back to the earth, dude." And he was like, "I don't know what that means, but if it means being dirt poor the rest of your life, you're doing a hell of a job, son." so my son was born in that house. My son was born in the house. Right, so we had a midwife. She came to the house and birthed the child in the house. Right, so you know, before the like a month of prenatal care, a month of postnatal care, and the birth, the total cost $400. $400. That, like, I had like a Walmart baby. Right, had a Walmart baby. $400. If you call your doctor right now on the phone and talk to him for 15 minutes, I think that costs $400 now. So I had like a bargain basement baby there, and when he was born, we brought him over to Wilbur because we were cocky now. We'll say, "Wilbur, say what you want about us, but this is a Mainer. He was born in that house right there." And this is what he said to me. I want you to pay attention to this because this is really one of the funniest things, and one of the funniest / meanest things I've ever heard. But it'll show you how sharp the Maine sense of humor is. I go, "Wilbur, this is a Mainer. He's born in that house across the street in Maine." And Wilbur said, "Well, if your cat crawls in the oven and has kittens, you don't call them biscuits, now do you?" I'm like, "Wilbur, that hurt." So I got a job. I finally got a job. I was in a nursing home, and it turned out to be one of the most important things that ever happened to me. I was 20 years old. I had a new baby. I had no marketable skills. I didn't go to college. I couldn't make a living. I didn't know how. I couldn't picture myself being able to feed this family. I just couldn't picture it. I was hitchhiking in the snow back and forth down Route 220 to Waldoboro, Maine, and And I just woke up every morning with my heart racing with fear of the future. I just could not picture the future and me being able to survive and take care of the people that were counting on me, and I couldn't picture it. And from the minute I opened my eyes in the morning to the time I closed them at night, my heart was just racing. I just lived with a racing heart full of fear because I just was so insecure and uncertain about the future, what kind of person I was going to be. And so getting this job in this nursing home really was so important because I was at the beginning of my life trying to figure out what kind of man I'm going to be, and I was surrounded by people who were at the end of their stories. And I was absorbing it. There was 100 people in that place, and I knew them all. And if you live this kind of life, this is what it looks like at the end. If you live this kind of life, this is what it looks like at the end. And I was just absorbing that as I was absorbing 100 last pages of a story while I was in the first chapter of my story of becoming an adult, and it was just all going in there. And so on one side of the building was a guy named Mr. Bishop. He, to this point in my life, is still the saddest person I've ever met. Now I'm 63 years old. Just imagine how many sad people I've met in my life. Thousands of them, right? But he is the saddest, and the reason he was sad and stayed in my mind, sadder than everybody else, is interesting. He wasn't a bad person. He didn't kill anybody. Didn't have a homicide in his in his life. He just wasn't kind. He wasn't nice. He wasn't generous of spirit. He went to work. He had a few beers. He yelled at his wife. He went hunting. He pushed people out of the way to get the job he wanted. That's the kind of guy he was, right? Not evil, but not kind. But he was smart enough in the nursing home when he was only going from the bed to the ground to realize that the way he spent his life didn't give him any memories that he could hold on to and take comfort from at the end of his life. And his understanding of that made him tragic, like Shakespearean tragic. He was like Macbeth kind of tragic in my mind. And I hated going in his room. It was like a dark cloud over his bed, and I just thought, "Oh, this is hard in here. This is a sad person." On the other side of the room, Maddie Campbell. On the other side of the building, Maddie Campbell, 89 years old in 1978. She was born in the 1890s, and in her room, the sun was always shining. I mean, it looked like that to me. I thought she had a southern exposure, but that wasn't the case. She the light was coming from her, because when she looked back at her life, it was decade upon decade of kindness and generosity. She would, put soup on her buckboard and drive it through the snow with her horse down to her neighbors a mile down the road, make sure they were warm, give them something to eat. If they were sick, she'd stay overnight. She just looked back at her life, and that's what she saw, the whole thing. She didn't need to change a minute of it, and she just glowed. There was just light around her because her life made sense to her. It was just full of kindness. And I was young and trying to figure this out, and I could see the two opposite ends of a life, and I didn't know how to get to where Maddie was, but I was sure I was going to try not to end up like Mr. Bishop, and I just was processing all of this. And Maddie Campbell adopted me. She adopted me. I would get my work done in a couple of hours and just pull a chair up next to her bed, and she would teach me these things from her life, from this really interesting life that she had. And I would complain. I'd complain about how hard my life was, which I feel bad about it now. I was complaining about having to hitchhike in the snow to a woman who didn't see a combustion engine until she was 40 years old, right? Like, she's in the first 5 decades of her life, her survival depended on the availability of moose meat and the kindness of neighbors, right? But here I was complaining about things. But anyway, I did it, and she would just lay back with her eyes closed and just listen to me. You know how the elderly will do that? They'll lay back with their eyes closed and just listen. Then she'd open one eye and say, "Are you sure you're being honest with yourself?" And I would muster some feeble response, and she would just wave me off like this, say, "Go think about that. I'm tired. Come back tomorrow." And that's the kind of relationship I had with her. She was also funny. Like, I would have loved her if she wasn't funny, but the fact that she was funny really helped me a lot. Like, helped our relationship a lot. She handed me a piece of paper one time. She goes, "Here, take this." I go, "What is it?" She goes, "This is my epitaph." I opened it up, and it said, "Here lies Maddie. She had 1,000,000 ills. It wasn't those that killed her. It was the 500,000 pills."
So good.
And so I just loved her. I couldn't have loved her any more than I did. And little by little, she kept feeding me these little pieces of wisdom from this beautiful life. And slowly, the racing in my heart started to go down a little bit. not all the way down, but she began to teach me that even maybe someone like myself might be able to manifest a life that they could be proud of. And it was a great gift to give me. And before I wrap this story up, I just want to give you an example of how she taught me, because it was the kind of teaching the way that wise people do it. You know, she was wise. And I was complaining about having to borrow money. I had to borrow $400 from my parents, and I knew that they would give it to me, but I didn't want people to help me no more. I was sick of it. I go, Maddie, I'm so sick of people helping me. I want to be able to do this on my own. I just can't stand the fact that I have to ask for help. And she said, it is your responsibility to let the people who love you help you. And I said, no, it is not my responsibility to do that. And she said, how do you feel when somebody you love is in trouble and you are able to help them? I go, that's different. I go, I like that feeling. She goes, do you love it? I go, as a matter of fact, I do love it. She said, then why would you deny the people who love you this feeling that you love so much? And I'm telling you, little squares here, all however many of you there are, it blew the top of my head off. I could feel synapses being created in my brain to accommodate this piece of information that I wouldn't have figured out on my own till I was 50 years old, right? And she just gently just sort of handed these things to me little by little, and just sort of ushered me into adulthood gently with the wisdom of somebody who got their wisdom in a world that was gone. She got wise in 1890, 1910, 1920 in Maine, right? So the place that she learned from didn't exist anymore. It was this nice gift to me on her way out. And then she died, and I was heartbroken and heartbroken. And that night I had a dream. And in the dream, Maddie was in the dream, and she said to me, I walked up to her and she had her hands cupped like this, and when I walked over to her, she opened her hands up like this, and inside were thousands of sparkling diamonds. And I knew it in the dream. I knew it at 20 years old. I knew exactly what was happening, and there was no confusion to me. Every moment in your life when you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not because you want something back, every moment in your life where you do the kind thing, it gets compressed into a diamond. And Maddie Campbell's last gift to me was to show me the thousands and thousands of sparkling moments of a life well lived. And she wasn't showing them to me so I could see how many there were. She was showing them to me so that I could see the look on her face at the end of her life as she gazed upon these sparkling moments of her life. And it was a gift to me, to say, you want to have this. You want to be able to do this at the end too. And so and then she called me over and said this in my ear, and I'm going to let her speak through me. I think this will be the last thing that I do. It's 8:30 now, so this will be I'm going to let Maddie Campbell have the last word here. She said she would be 130 years old now. Do you believe that? And so you would have no chance of knowing her. So this is what she said to me. I'll let her speak through me. Maddie Campbell from Washington, Maine. She said, in the end, Dawn, the person with the most diamonds wins. Ta-da!
Woo! All right, Maddie Campbell.
Hey, Maddie.
All right, thank you for requesting that, and so that's the end of my concert here tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the splash up, the thing that will show you where you can pay. About 2 minutes, I'll go splash some water on my face, and if anybody's here after that, we're going to have quite a good song swap with some really fun folks that we'll get to chat. It's much looser, we can talk a little bit, and we're going to simulate community. That's the thing that we lost, right? Well, in musicians, we would hang around after and play music and catch up with each other, and we can't do that anymore, but we can simulate it here on Zoom. So I'm excited about it. I'm really fond of everybody that's going to be here today, and excited to be with them all. So if you want to hang around, you're welcome to. I'll be back in, let's call it 2.5 minutes. All right.
I highly
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Sometimes I hear the truth.
Hello everyone, welcome back. So welcome to the after party. There you go. So
All right.
thanks for supporting live music, live hologram music. So I think what we'll do to start this off is get Chelsea to come back and play another song for us. She started us off and set the tone for us at 7:10 or so, and I think she should start things off in this part of the night. So let's give her a nice round of applause, please.
Yeah. Woo!
All right.
All right, Chelsea.
Don, that was awesome.
Thank you.
So much. Wonderful songs and stories. When Carol first reached out to me about this, she kind of told me that we were going for a peace and love vibe, which we were joking earlier. I said, a lot of my songs, at least until recently, were about all of the failed relationships I've had in my life. So I guess we can't use any of those songs. So move forward.
But hey, if you didn't kill anybody, that's about peace and love, right? They're all still living, right? All the old ones.
Have you ever thought about being a therapist? I feel like you'd be a really good therapist.
I agree.
So I want to play you this song is from my new record. It's coming out October 15th of next month. So next month, October. And this is the song that we actually released last month. And this is going to be the Chelsea Berry acoustic live from the neighbor's house, because my Wi-Fi wasn't good enough to go from my house version. But the record version is strings and background vocals and organs and all of the things, which you can check out. There's a link, I think, somewhere to my website. It's just chelseaberry.com. You can click on that and you can listen to the full band version of this song. So anyway, in the spirit of this evening, this song is called Love. I am tired of my heart being broken, of waking in a dream, the floor pulled out from under me, and if the sky crashes down, I will know it. I saw it coming on. We've let this go for way too long, and I can't take it anymore. I am tired of the air of surrender, of people on their knees, gagged and bound with policy, and I know we can't hope to last forever. Just waiting for a sign, a savior with a better line, and I can't take it anymore. I won't hold my tongue until the fight is done, and I won't take it anymore. Standing to the side to watch the world divide. If this life is all we are given, and it's the only chance we get, then I want to spend this lifetime living in hope and faith, forgiveness, not regret. 'Cause I can't take it anymore. I won't hold my tongue until this life is done, and I won't take it anymore. Standing to the side to watch the world divide. I wanna live it in love, 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 love. I wanna live it in love, 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 love. I wanna live it in love, 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 love. I wanna live it in love. Wanna live it in love, 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 love.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, Chelsea. Wow.
That was awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was
You
beautiful.
know, Chelsea, you're helping out some people who need some help there with that. You know, that was just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's hear it again for Chelsea Berry.
Chelsea.
All right.
So, Chelsea, we'll go around another time. Will you hang around with us, and maybe the next time through we'll chat a little bit? Is that we'll let people know about you? And so her information is in the chat room and all that, so folks can find her CDs and all that. And we'll talk a little bit more about what she's doing when it comes around again. So now I want to introduce a guy that's from the area here. It came up at sort of the same time as me. He's really what I think is one of the best songwriters that I know of. He's just masterful at songwriting. He's got tremendous accomplishments. He's good to everybody too. He's good out there in the world, and so we're really delighted to have him here. He's going to be performing for Carol in later in I think October 29th. But I want us all to welcome one of our special guests tonight, Mr. Ellis Paul.
Hey.
Oh,
Hi, Don. How are you?
Good, Ellis. Nice to see you.
I've been so busy today trying to get some classwork done that I didn't get a chance to come in to your show until just 5 minutes before. But that story you told was so incredible.
Thank you.
Really. And so nice to see Chelsea, who I've known since she was in high school, believe it or not.
You look the same, by the way.
I look the same.
You do.
You are definitely punked out since high school. You look so innocent. Now you look like a rocker that lives in Maine. So,
Well, do you have a show for Carol? I think that Carol said it's October 29th. Does that sound right to you?
yeah, I think it is.
So
Yeah,
that's the new moon. The new moon. It's a chance to come back to the new Moon Coffeehouse and see, one of our legends here in the
a virtual new moon.
the virtual new moon. And Ellis, you're living in Charlottesville, is that right?
Yeah, it doesn't look it, but there are Blue Ridge Mountains just outside these walls and these windows, and it's beautiful here. I miss New England. I'm from Maine, so I know where Chelsea speaks of. What town are you in, Chelsea?
I'm in Gouldsboro.
Gouldsboro,
So we're
okay.
right on the coast north of Acadia.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you're farther up than I ever lived, but it's so pretty up there. Good for you.
Ellis, will you play a song for us?
Sure. I'm excited. I'm giving my I just got a bunch of new gear today, and this is basically the Virgin trip through it. And I have a little foot pedal that gives just a little bit of reverb, but when it's like a gas pedal, and it's right beneath my feet. I'm gonna click it right now. Here we go. Let's try it. I ain't known Jesus. I've never saved a soul. Never walked on water except ice and snow. There's a rumor in the choir I'm just lucky as God ain't know. But I ain't known Jesus. Never saved a soul. Ain't no Buddha. Oh, I struggle with wrong from right. I ain't no Prince of Peace. I've hit the floor in a good bar fight. I'll ask forgiveness come Sunday, asking for trouble Saturday night. But I ain't no Buddha. I struggle with the wrong from right. No, I can't walk on water, can't part the sea. Only miracle I've seen is you walking down the aisle of me. No, I can't talk to God, I ain't divine. Only miracle I've seen is I can call you mine. I ain't no carpenter, I'm more sailor than sane. I'll put a hammer on the thumbnail, swear so loud to close heaven's gates. But I built you a four-post bed now, darling, don't make me wait. I ain't no carpenter, I'm more sailor than sane. No, I can't walk on water, can't part the sea. The only miracle I've seen is you walking down the aisle of me. No, I can't talk to God, I ain't divine. Only miracle I've seen is I can call you mine. Ain't no savior, ain't got the words. How do you preach to the masses when you can't even talk to the girl? I get a little courage from holy wine, but then your speech gets slurred. I ain't no savior, ain't got the words. No, I can't walk on water, can't part the sea. The only miracle I've seen is you walking down the aisle to me. No, I can't talk to God, I ain't divine. Only miracle I've seen is I can call you mine. The only miracle that I've seen is I can call you mine. Oh, mine, I can call you mine. Oh, mine.
Oh, Ellis,
Oh,
that
no,
was
that's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Woo!
Thank you.
That is so
Oh,
beautiful.
thank you so much.
Pleasure. How was the reverb? Was it too much or okay?
No,
It was
no.
perfect. Perfect.
Weird having a foot pedal, you know, and I'm like so nervous about, did I hit it? Did I hit it right? Because I didn't want to have to.
Right.
Good. And I'm glad it worked out.
Ellis, that was awesome. I'm a big fan of what
Likewise,
you do.
Don.
I really am. And let me ask you something. First of all, you'll hang around if we go around one more time.
Sure,
play another
of course,
song for
yes.
us. But don't like I've stopped in a few times for your regular stream. So can you let people know what day that is and what time? Is it always the same day and time?
Yeah, the big show of my week tends to be the Friday night show. It's called Ellis Paul's Traveling Medicine Show. And like you, I bring in a special guest and there's a theme. Tomorrow's theme is New York City. It's 9/11, and we're going to have Christopher Williams, a guy that's been around New England for many years. He lives down in Nashville now, but he's going to be my special guest. And we're going to do songs about New York.
And people can get to that at by going to your Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook Live,
Yeah.
the live stream. Ellis Paul Music and More is the name of the stream site.
Okay, and what time does that start?
Oh, 8 p.m. Yeah.
8 p.m.
8
So
p.m.
everybody
here
make a
in
note of that, and it's really warm and very laid back, and he does just a great job there. So one more time for Ellis Paul, please, everybody.
All right. Woo!
All right, so now in the cavalcade of after party stars, we have to welcome one of my dear friends in this world. I mean, I have a lot of them, but this person is right at the top of them. Please welcome all the way from New York City. She drove the longest. Well, no, Ellis, we probably beat her, I guess. But Ellis drove the furthest. But Christine coming from New York City, Christine Lavin.
All right.
Oh, it's so great to see you, Don, and hear Ellis and Chelsea. And I've been knitting. I was trying to finish up the row because I try to knit when something really wonderful is happening, and I can knit the good juju into my project.
Nice.
So I haven't knit in a long time. It really calms me down. We're living through crazy times.
Hey, Christine, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Is it okay to reveal the fact that you have a new album? I guess I just revealed it.
Yeah, next Friday it's going to be like a big record release show under the umbrella of the Amazing Things Art Center.
Right, so everybody knows that, and we'll put that information in the thing. So that's next, what, Friday, did you say? Or next?
The 18th of September. Unfortunately, I think it's the first night of Rosh Hashanah, so Jewish people can't go. I didn't know. I'm a guy. What do I know? Right.
Yeah.
But also a really cool thing, Brandon O'Sullivan, who's doing your tech, designed my album cover. Girls, he is a Renaissance man. Oh yeah.
Hey.
He is also a chef. He's a chef. So my dream is when all this pandemic stuff is over, we're going to have this huge party. Brandon is going to cater it, and he's going to design all the invitations, and he's going to do everything, and he's going to man the electronics for the show, but he's not going to wash the dishes. Don't expect that. He's
Thank
an
you, Christine.
artiste.
But will you play something for us, Christine?
Sure. In fact, I'll do a song that's on the new record.
Great.
And I don't know what to say about it. I'll just sing it. It's a true story, though. Oh, I was never the kind of musician who ever sung the blues. I'm too full up with optimism. I find it hard to watch the news, but if you know anything about music, you recognize this is a blues progression that I play in the key of A. For the first time in my life, I'm singing the blues because of what happened to me the other day. You say, what happened? Testify, sister. Okay. I was looking in a mirror was looking back at me. The woman in the mirror said, here's a dose of reality. And then she mumbled something. I had to say, could you repeat what you just said? The woman in the mirror grimaced, rolled her eyes, shook her head. The next day, the same thing happened. I was talking to my reflection. She was mumbling back. I said, is this some kind of trick of natural selection? Come on out with it. Speak up. Unless you want to play charades. The woman in the mirror leaned in and said, you need hearing aids. I said, what? She said, you need hearing aids. What you talking about, mirror woman? I admit I was dismayed. I told her I've had my hearing tested. She said, that's right. 5 years ago. Oh, did they tell you that your hearing was perfect then? I couldn't lie. I said no. Did you have your hearing tested after that? She said. Again, I could not lie. 4 years ago, I knew my ears were in trouble. How much trouble? That was hard to quantify. She said 6 months ago, you got your hearing tested again. How is that? Worse. It's a curse. She said you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta stop living in a fool's universe. Now when I talk to the woman in the mirror, I hear every word. It took me 5 years to get to this point. I know that sounds absurd, but if you find yourself saying, what? Over and over again, get your hearing tested. You're missing out on too much life, my friend. Oh, I was never the kind of musician who ever sung the blues. I'm too full up with optimism. I still find it hard to watch the news, but if you know anything about music, you recognize this is a blues progression that I play in the key of A. But I no longer sing the blues, 'cause I hear everything. I hear every little thing you talk behind my back. And I will hear you going on today. Yabba dabba dooba, yabba dabba doo, yeah, Wilma! Swabba dabba dooba dabba deeba dabba dooba dabba 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 dabba. I'm a bad blues singer? I heard that.
Oh, Christine.
Thank you, Christine. That was great.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Thank
so
you.
much, Christine.
So, really, I mean, Don will testify. Don, how many times when we were driving around some countryside up in Canada or out in Oregon did I say, what?
Every time.
5 years. But you know what? On the recording, I actually have my audiologist. His name is Dr. Joe Montano. That's his real name, Joe Montano. It gets some really good tables in restaurants. But he's the one who goes, "You're not a very good blues singer." I heard that. So he's so excited to be on the record and his pictures on the album and everything.
Christine, will you hang around if we go around one more time? We can chat a little bit.
Sure.
All right, let's hear it again for Christine. Clap loudly, clap loudly. She needs to hear.
And I'm going back to my knitting, but I listen better when I knit.
I love it.
All right. That was a wonderful. You know, the after party to me is just so important. I just so miss hanging around with my friends. So with that in mind, before we go back to Chelsea, I'll be with you in 1 second. I want to get my friend Tim Mason. Come on over here, Tim, and talk about. Tim Mason ran the old Vienna Coffeehouse in Westboro, that's where I first met Alice Paul right around those times, and then first place I ever played regularly and had an audience, and it was quite a venue near Worcester, Mass. And he's doing something with kind of like a reunion of sorts. It's going to be like a 5-hour. It's going to be like the open mic from hell is what I think. It's going to be everybody that I know on this stage. But Tim, if you just take a minute and let people know about it, it's Sunday, right?
It's this Sunday, and it's like this show on steroids. It was you and Jimmy Tingle, who did the Ding Ho reunion that was 8 hours long, got me thinking about this. Back in the day, I used to do birthday party shows because August 30th is my birthday. Usually was Labor Day weekend. Horrible day to do a show. So I'd invite some friends together and we'd throw these birthday bashes. Well, it turns out that I got to meet Dom Flemons from the Carolina Chocolate Drops in '08. And Dom also has a birthday on August 30th. So we've formed the 830 Club. And we've got this website, www.0830.com. And it's club.com, 0830club.com. It's all up there. Reservations are what we're looking for. Christine, Ellis, you are all going to be part of it. We're reaching back to some of the old poetry slam that Dom took part in. Reggie Gibson, Rick McIntyre, a bunch of other folks are going to join us. It's basically going to be this after party kind of thing. We'll have somebody come on, we'll chat for a little bit, we're going to play some songs, and we've built up side rooms into the main Zoom. So when you see somebody in your little Hollywood Square hostage video things, you can use that little message thing and you can grab them and go into a private room and have a conversation.
So it's like a brothel then, right?
That would be really neat. Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is make a live stream virtual club. So no dress code, no parking hassles, always open bar. We got the smoking room if you want to go private. We'll have a dining table for the artists to come in and do virtual autographs. Brandon's been killing himself. We've got a wonderful production team going on. It is going to be quite the thing, but it's coming up Sunday, 5:00 Eastern time. And go to the website and make a reservation, join in. You can stay as long or as short as you want.
Thank you, Tim.
Don warned us. We were pre-warned about doing this. It's crazy.
Yeah. Not sure what that. But anyway, this the information is in the chat now with the website and all that. I recommend this really highly. It's I think Dar Williams is going to pop into it. I mean, it's going to be quite an event, and it's going to be 5 hours long. You could like watch for an hour, take a nap, whatever. You know, you wake up, it'll still be there. But Brandon is going to be overdosing on caffeine because he's doing the whole thing. So, all right. So thank you, Kim. So here, Chelsea, why don't you play us another tune? But let's talk a little bit for a minute, if you don't mind. Where are you, Chelsea? There you are. So we talked a little bit earlier, and you grew up in Alaska, right? So do you mind talking a little bit about what you said to me about the how when you're in high school, all these punk wise guy, you know, like riff-raff folk singers used to come up and teach classes, and they what would you call it? They turned you into a wayward child. Is that what happened? Or like, do you mind just chatting about that a little bit?
I think I was on that path already, but they sort of helped me, you know, veer off. So yeah, so I grew up just north of Anchorage and started playing the guitar when I was 14 or 15. And my friend Robin Hopper, who I don't think she's here tonight, she is an old friend of Christine's from Alaska. But her daughter Katie is watching tonight. And I think Katie is knitting at the same time that Christine is knitting right now. If you look around, the other one knitting is Katie. So anyway, her mom and I, and then eventually Katie, as she got older, would attend this songwriting camp every year. And the first year I went, I believe the teacher was, one of the teachers was Vance Gilbert. And then the second year I went, Ellis Paul was a teacher, and Chris Smither and Susan Werner and you know, all of these huge names, just bam, 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 bam. And that's a big deal in Alaska to have all these people come up. So it was really cool because they came up, they did these songwriting workshops with us for, I think it was maybe a week at a time every summer. And then fast forward 15 years and I got to start opening for these people. So I've opened for many of these people. And unfortunately, Dave Van Ronk was a teacher only a few years before he passed away, and I was fortunate enough to be one of his students. And Dave Carter and Tracy Grammer came up, and the year before Dave died. So it was just this unbelievable resource for me as a kid, and really helped kind of push me along, because it is sort of, you know, brave or stupid, depending on how you want to cut it, you know, to say, I'm going to be a professional folk singer, you know, like, it's not an easy road. There are a lot of other things you can do to make more money and not work as hard and not have to live in a van for a while. So that said, I was going to ask Brendan if he could share this picture that is probably kind of grainy, but is from, I think, my second year.
Grainy but beautiful.
Grainy but beautiful. Oh yeah.
Aww.
Oh,
wow.
he looks the same.
He does.
He does.
Aww.
So I think this was my senior year of high school, and you know, I was smitten. I've already embarrassed myself plenty in front of Ellis and told him how much of a crush I had on him in high school, but I still have a crush on him. But now we're friends, so it's okay. Anyway, yeah, that was,
you know, for me, Chelsea, it was, you know, occasionally you do meet people when you're teaching, you're doing stuff, you're getting around to hearing people as they're emerging, and the vast majority of people that show talent never have the balls to continue on, and to know and watch you have all of this potential in high school, and that, you know, you survived all of the hurdles that society puts in front of you to become this amazing songwriter and working songwriter. I'm so proud of you, really. It's been incredible to watch. So way to go.
Man, we're having a moment here, aren't we? Gee.
my mommy's watching.
Wow. So will you play a tune for us, Chelsea?
I will. So as I said before, I've got this new album coming out next month, and we haven't really announced it. I mean, we haven't announced the title track, but I'm going to tell you, it's called Monsters and Machines, and I'm going to play you the title track right now. And it's a song that I wrote sitting on our deck. We're up in Maine. We're 30 miles north of Acadia on the water in the woods, on 9 acres, but you can hear the traffic ever so slightly on Route 1 if it's a big truck going by. And I was sitting in the rocker having my coffee and just thinking about the state of the world. Sometimes I hear the traffic early in the morning, reminds me there's people around. Heading down the highway, praying for promotion and hoping that the walls will come down. And they wonder, what am I looking for? I may as well be a machine. This is not the dream I dreamed. Crawling down the freeway, one after another. This half-hour drive takes 2. But it's in the job description. The mind is disassembling on factory coffee and talk radio. And they wonder, what am I driving for? I may as well be a machine, running on fake news and caffeine. And they wonder, what am I working for? Was this always in the plan? Is it the destiny of man? Are we part of a picture and part of each other? Mothers and cousins and fathers and friends and children and brothers. Are we all puzzle pieces, our place to discover? Or are we just surviving one another? We can be so reckless, fickle and contentious, angry and cruel and unkind. Instead of loving neighbors, we build up walls between us, victim to each other and the grind. I'm not sure that's what God had in mind. Does he wonder, what am I working for? This was never in the plan. They just don't seem to understand that I had hoped for so much more. But these monsters and machines, this is not the dream I dreamed.
Thank you, Chelsea. That's
Chelsea,
great.
that's awesome.
Woo!
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Very
Amazing.
Oh,
Wow, that was beautiful, Chelsea. Man. This would been you set such a beautiful tone for us this evening. I'm really grateful to you for being here, and I look forward to being with you. Like we said earlier, like with all of these people, I never get to see you. I always see that you just played there, or that you're coming next week, or those are your tail lights going around the corner as I pull up. It's such a weird life, but I just think that you're wonderful and great. And let's hear it again one more time for Chelsea.
Chelsea, beautiful.
yeah.
All right, Ellis Paul, my friend.
Hi.
Let's talk a little bit. So you grew up in Maine. You know what I'm interested in is, like, you know, aside from what might be obvious, I guess. Like who would you call out as an influence before you started playing out, like when you were just hanging around in your house? Do you know what I mean? Like Do you does something come to mind when I ask that question?
Yeah, I mean, it's this sort of standard cast of characters from like 1968 to 1974, 75. It's the Neil Young, James Taylor, Carly Simon, Joni Mitchell, those people with a dash of Dylan thrown in. That was discovering the sound of the acoustic guitar, and that music was becoming, in Boston anyway, popular on like classic hits radio again. So I never got exposed to that when I was young. So I got exposed to it in college, and I think that crew of people, and then discovering, of course, people like Christine. She's one of my heroes. Remember seeing her at one of the Passim 25th anniversary celebrations, and that whole crew of New York songwriters, Sean Colvin, John Gorka, that crew of people that became contemporary heroes. And then the Boston area ones like Patty Larkin and Bill Morrissey, and Christine was friends with those guys too. And then eventually they all did this and became sort of the national folk scene. And then I followed in their footsteps and opened for a lot of them, and they blazed the trail ahead of me.
Yeah. Well, that's quite a, those are good people to be, that's a good list right there. It's the storytellers, isn't it? It's the people who when you're done listening to their songs, you went somewhere with it, right? That they all sort of have that in common, isn't it?
And also that gift, that you have, the in between the song storytelling, the stuff that happens in between, how funny Bill was and Patty, and how supposedly shy John Gorka is, in between songs, but funny despite that, and the self-deprecation of those folks, and no one's taking themselves too seriously, but taking the art form seriously, and just the banter was just as important as the songs. And every night was like going to class. Every time I went to see any of those people, I came out of it evolved in some way, and it affected my own music and my own stage performances. And of course, we were lucky to have places like the Old Vienna, which was sort of the petri dish to so many of us. And none of us would be here. Certainly you and I, and if not me, maybe even Chelsea and Vance Gilbert. I mean, the one club just made such a difference in propagating the idea of becoming a folk musician for all of us. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, I just watched the video of the last open mic there where you had the feature there. Robert Haig found that and posted it. It was wonderful to see it. So yeah, we got a lot of history, and we're lucky to live in a community that supports it still to this day, still supports it. So thank you so much for doing this. I want to remind people, October 29th, Ellis Paul is going to be doing a show like this for Carol Allen at the New Moon Coffeehouse, and he does his show every Friday, which means tomorrow, on his Facebook page with special guests. So check that out in the chats, and the folks that are watching on YouTube and Facebook, it's in your chats over there too. So Ellis, if you'd be so kind as to play another tune for us,
sure.
That would be great.
Hey guys, if you don't mind, I'd like to do. I also have a cover album coming out. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's only for Patreon people who sign up for my subscription service. But this is kind of like what I've been doing during the course of the pandemic, is actually not writing songs, but learning, 30 or 40 songs that I've been doing at the shows, and then trying to take the best of those songs and put them onto a record, and kind of like turning them into, what the Ellis Paul version of these songs. So if you don't mind, I'd like to try that. I'm just going to plug in here for a second to make sure. How do I do? This is all new. This is fun. This is like, there we go. I'll do that. I'm swapping out guitars here. I call this one Maggie. Magdalene, really. I got it in Nazareth, Pennsylvania at the Martin Factory. Wanted to give it a biblical name. So you'll recognize this. here we go. Oh wait, we gotta hit that foot pedal. There we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why? Then oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Oh, that was
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
man.
Ellis.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Oh.
Thanks so much, Alice. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate all that you've done, you know, for the community over the years, and I've got a lot of respect for your work and the way you approach it. So let's hear it one more time for Ellis Paul.
Oh,
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
so much.
Ellis.
thanks so much.
Beautiful.
So Ellis, if you got anything to promote, we're here on Thursday nights. Just pop in, you know. Even if I'm filled up, we'll get you in for a tune and let you. You know, this audience is pretty good about supporting other artists, so
That's
it's a
beautiful.
good place
Thank
to
you.
stop by. And all the best to you. And take care of yourself, there, buddy.
Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. All right. All right. Christine Lavin, where are you, my friend?
Here I am. I'm still here. You know, Sally Fingerette was in the chat room for a while and she just disappeared.
That's too bad because I was gonna show some of her stuff. Oh, did you? Go ahead, Christine.
Well, I was going to show, she made this knitting bag for me. She's like a total wizard with a sewing machine. Yeah, look at that.
I was gonna ask her to play, and I was gonna be like this. I don't know if you can see me. Those of you in the gallery view. This is a mask that Sally Fingerette put out a video on how to make, and my wife got her old sewing machine out and made like 100 of them and gave them to everyone in the family. So I was gonna, tell her she missed out opportunity to show her handbags and her fancy map.
Well, you know what? During Alice's song, I sent her a text thinking maybe she's got her phone with her, and maybe she'll come in.
Well,
so we'll just keep your eye in the chat room. If Sally shows up, we got to get her to do a song.
All right.
Because she has something really interesting in common with Ellis Paul, and Ellis Paul also has the distinction of being the only performer who was on the 2 CD set of Follow That Road, which was the second Martha's Vineyard Singer-Songwriters Retreat. He was the only one who he popped up during the week at the Wintertide Coffeehouse. We were only taping the weekend shows that were going to be for the album, but he was so great that the producer ran back, got the equipment, set it up for Ellis, and Ellis is the only one who performed during the month of September in the week section, the only one who ended up on the record, which was really a testament. This was back in 1993. So he was just a young pup, but everybody knew he was great back then.
Christine, you want to talk again about, just mention when your CD release party is? Do you have a copy of it? Can you show us the artwork, or is it?
You know what? It's they're actually coming tomorrow. I could show you a picture, but it's better to But Brandon designed it. It's called On My Way to Hooterville, and there's 3 songs on the record that have that title: Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And I thought what I would do is play for you On My Way to Hooterville, Part 1.
All right.
That's how the record starts out. Want me to do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a true story. I don't make things up. I just make them rhyme, so no one will get hurt. Let's start with Once Upon a Time. I did a concert in a quaint little theater next to a charming Airbnb. If I thank them from the stage, I can stay for free. The people who had the room before me, I was told, were a couple of cute newlyweds who loved each other madly and loved the king-size bed. Ooh, king-size bed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would love to stay. The owner said I would put good money on you having sweet dreams tonight. I did, and the next afternoon I did what I thought was right. I stripped the bed to make it easy to prepare for whoever would stay there next. But what fell out of the blankets and sheets left me perplexed. A blindfold, blue BVD size XXXL. I'm not kidding. A skimpy baby doll nightie, furry handcuffs as well. What did I sleep on? I can't ask for a refund, 'cause I never pay. What do I do with the remnants of this newlywed love parade? I guess I could pack them up in my suitcase, give airport security a thrill when they go through my luggage. On my way to Hooterville. What did I sleep on? There's going to be like a little music interlude here where Don White's going to do sort of like a nude interpretive dance. Just have to imagine that. That night. Wait. You know, I threw that in. Now I can't remember where it was in the song. Hold on. All right, let's close our eyes and imagine Don dancing again. I took the goodies, I wrapped them up in the blankets, and I left them all tangled up on the floor. I left a maid service requested sign dangling from my door. I left that night in an Uber. The driver said, "Please get in the front seat." Did I mind if we stopped at a drive-through? He was hungry, he had to eat. Then he leaned over, he looked me in the eye, and he said, "I can't see in the dark." Riding shotgun with him was like taking a spin in a dangerous amusement park. Then he confided he had no money, and if I would pay for the food, he'd give me a ride to the airport for free. Well, that put me in a mood, 'cause everybody knows Uber charges automatic. I had to let that one go. At the airport, I said to him, "From now on, only drive in the daylight." He said, I know. I waved goodbye. He put the car in gear, disappeared into a dusty cloud, checking me out in the rearview mirror. Crank and rush Limbaugh up loud. Oh, it's a brave new world where anyone can be a taxi or an Airbnb. I'm gonna think twice next time I'm offered something free. Life can be one long journey, first up, then all downhill. But for me, it's little adventures on my to Hooterville. What did I sleep on? I can't see in the dark.
Christine, that was awesome.
You can tell I'm getting old. I'm writing
Oh.
slow songs now. That's
That was great. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Christine. Man, let's hear it again for Christine louder.
Thanks,
Always
Christine.
Don, are you gonna do a song? Come on, Don.
Yeah, I'll do one. We'll wind it up here. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming. Well, we sort of end this thing slowly. This is going to be the end of the sort of musical part. But if anybody wants to hang around, chat, I'll just leave the meeting going. I got no place to go. But I want to put this one out to the peace organization. So Christine, I'm not sure if you were here, but they put the name of Christine. You and I were at the. I'm so bad that I forget the name of it. It's called the
Garden of Peace.
The Garden of Peace, yeah. Remember that, Christine? We went there because that one of our fans had her sister or something had gotten murdered. Remember that? Anyway, so I want to send this out to that organization that is doing like really hard and important work. This is a song called "Angel in Pieces," and it's about believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves. And I'm just glad to live in a world where people do the kind of work that's getting done by this organization. I hope we raise enough money to make a difference here tonight. Let's have a big thank you for our friend Chelsea Berry. Ellis Paul. Christine Lavin.
Christine.
And Carol Allen from the New Moon Coffeehouse.
Carol, awesome.
And Rachel from the Peace Organization. Thank you so much for all you're doing out there. All right, so here we'll do this song, and then we'll just hang around, or we can all leave one at a time. You know. All right. Again, believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves, it's a noble endeavor. And a little bit of it goes a long way. It can make a difference that you'll never know how much it will matter. She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered. In her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking. And as their spirit dies, but deep inside we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky. And those old dark eyes are so alive, they set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel, I say to myself. I feel Zuzu's petals, I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are.
Beautiful, Dawn. Beautiful.
Beautiful is right.
Oh.
Sarah's always right when she says that.
But nobody here can doubt Sarah about
That
anything.
is correct.
Sarah teaches everybody how to be a good Zoom fan. Holler out something encouraging after every song. Make that person feel like they're not just playing to their computer at home.
Yeah.
Sarah's going to give classes on how to be a good interactive Zoom fan.
My students wrote a little poem. They said, roses are red, violets are blue. Miss Campstrom's always right. Don't you think so too?
You're a teacher, right? So that's right. So listen, keep me informed about how you're doing. You know, do you think you'll have to evacuate, Sarah? I mean, I don't want to ask you in front of all these folks, but
Right now, we don't know. We're about 14 miles away, and there's 2 towns between us and the fire.
It
but
looks good now.
It looks okay right at the moment, but this is a really bad, big fire that's very unpredictable. And it's very dry here, and we have something called mono winds that happen, and so we're keeping a close eye on it, very close, you know.
All right. Well, I don't know what to do except have a good thought for you for whatever that
That's
is
good.
worth. But
That's
well,
good.
it's something. But I still, if I need to fly out there and get you, I will do it.
I'll do that.
Doing the show Thursday,
Yeah.
irregardless. Irregardless, I'll be there Thursday. Don't you worry, buddy.
Right, you'll be like in a campground in a tent with a a mouse running around in a cage,
I'll
getting
be
your
holding
power,
the-
generating power for
I'll
your
be
computer.
holding the satellite dish.
That's good. Oh, hey, Sally Fingerette, welcome back. Do you want to play a song for us? Here, wait a second.
I
No.
can't.
Wait,
I
here.
just
How about this?
can't.
Wait a second. I have to show you this. Does this look
Hi,
familiar to you?
everybody.
Does
This
look
is so
familiar?
delightful.
Sarah, can you see me?
Yeah.
Does this look familiar to you? This is my wife built this off of your video. She did. She used your video. We had an assembly plant in my house here for weeks. We brought out the 1940s, sewing machine, the big blue thing, and we just made masks for everybody. Sally,
That's great.
This is Sally Fingerette's design. It's got a little pocket in it where you can put a filter and stuff inside here. It's
I didn't design it. I just decided that I could make them, and then Christine talked me into doing a video, and then I just filmed it on my iPhone, and she did all the editing. Chris,
is it true that everything good in the world finds its way back to Christine somehow?
This is correct. Yes, everything. Every rent control department in New York is because of Christine Lavin.
Right. I think there was a quote, I forget by who it said, I forget who I read this by. It said you take your little cassette and you stick it underneath your pillow, and because of Christine Lavin, when you wake up in the morning, you open your pillow, there's a career under there.
That's absolutely true. That's not bullshit. That's
no. You're looking at someone that toured with her for 9 years. I get it. I know. Christine Lavin's okay with me. Are you sure you don't want to play a song, sing something, or anything?
I can't. I can't. I have to tell you. So the Babes haven't played since January. So I had my acrylic fingernails. I had them grow out. See?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And no calluses. I haven't played the guitar in months. I'm painting furniture in the garage and sewing, trying to sew world peace if they would let me. And
well, that seems like a noble endeavor.
I'm not. It's 9 o'clock at night here. 10. What time is it? 9:30.
9:30. Well, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see that you're doing all right. And
thank you. Chris sent me an email and said, "Hey, what? Come on!" So I got on and I had to take a phone call, and now I'm back.
She wanted to show off something for you, Christine. Should do some more showing off for Sally Fingerette.
Oh.
Come on. Where are you? Go ahead, Christine.
I made her a tote bag and she puts her knitting in it.
There you go. We can't hear.
Hey, Chris, you're unmuted. Your mic volume might be turned down or something. I can't hear you.
Unmuted because I can.
Oh, there we go. I hear it now.
Coming
but
up
it's
a little bit
really
more,
quiet.
Chris.
Yeah, can you turn it up a little bit?
Look at that microphone.
That's balanced.
Did you find that in the bed too?
Can you see how beautiful this is? I mean,
yeah.
And there's planets on here, and there's music notes, and there's all these pockets, and it fits a water.
Oh.
I know there's another knitter here. I know you were so jealous because I have like the bag of the century. It's like a birthday bag.
Hey, maybe we can all get them. Sally, can you make it for all of us? We'll pay. We'll pay.
Okay. Yeah.
Put it in the
After
chat.
that, they're $10,000.
As designed by Christine Lavin.
I think you know what you can do is you can put a blank check under your pillow, and when you wake up, you have a purse. That's what we'll do. We'll do it that
Finally,
way.
life could be like that.
So, no music since January, huh? So
No, I have a piano in the other room, and I'll noodle, but
yeah,
I'm back to doing it for pleasure instead of for work. So
well, if you ever want to just pop in and play or just hang around, we're here every Thursday, and part of it is is this part here where we just, we miss each other. We, in this format, we get to hang out a little bit and talk and fool around, hear a few songs. It's it means something. It means something. We're using technology.
I'm telling you, it's wonderful to see all you guys. You all seem to know each other, although some people I recognize names. Ellis Paul, for goodness sakes, I haven't seen Ellis in 100 years. Howdy. Is he still there? I have to
No, he left, yeah.
He had to go.
Did he?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here I don't know, except Chris and Don. And there was somebody else that looked familiar.
Did you ever play at the old Vienna Coffeehouse? Tim Mason's here.
Right. Yes, I remember him. And Chelsea, I heard your song earlier. It was wonderful. And then my sister called and I had to take it. So, oh well. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for letting me know about this. This is delightful. I'm going to mark this in my calendar.
Oh, good. All right. Good.
That was knitting with your bag. I thought Sally's going to come see your bag on TV.
She's so cute. Girl is so cute.
Yeah.
So it's late. So I'm going to go see if I can catch some the rest of Don Lemon here.
Okay.
On CNN. You guys have a lovely Thursday.
Well, it's nice to see you, Sally, and I'm glad you're doing okay. And stop by anytime. Right. Be well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Dawn, I had to borrow my neighbor's house, as you know, to get good Wi-Fi, and she's now sleeping in the downstairs. So I'm gonna tap out.
All right.
Good choice.
And drive back to my house where I have no cell phone service.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Chelsea.
But thank you all so
Thank
much.
you so much, Chelsea. It was wonderful.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. It was great.
Doing okay.
Chelsea, same thing to you. Pop by any Thursday if you got something to promote or you just want to hang out.
Thanks, Dawn.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Thanks, Carol. Bye.
Bye.